Welcome back folks, Matt here. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Chinese heavy machine guns, focusing on the QJZ-89, also known as the Type 89 machine gun. I've done a number of videos on my channel on HMGs, whether it be American, M2 Brownings, or Russian plethora of heavy machine guns. This one is quite unique in the fact that it is kind of a hybrid of multiple different machine guns into one indigenous platform for the Chinese, and this remarkable weapon system stands out for its lightweight design and formidable firepower, playing a crucial role in modern infantry operations and even mounted operations when they are placed on vehicles. But what's your favorite HMG? Mine is the M2 Browning. It's just a classic, you know, it's a nearly 100-year-old machine gun. It is an absolute beast. But this is a really intriguing weapon system because I don't learn enough about Chinese military equipment, and I think it's time to start understanding what kind of capabilities the Chinese military has when it comes to weapon platforms like this. So let's talk about its development history. In the early 1980s, Chinese firearms designers embarked on a mission to create a heavy machine gun that combined substantial firepower with exceptional portability. This initiative was partly inspired by reports of the Soviet Union's NSV machine gun, which was believed to weigh approximately 25 kilograms, including its mount. Motivated by this, the Chinese engineers set out to develop a comparable system, aiming for a lightweight yet powerful weapon. The culmination of their efforts was the QJZ-89, officially adopted in 1989. Remarkably, the QJZ-89 weighs just 17.5 kilograms without its tripod, making it one of the lightest heavy machine guns in existence, even though it doesn't quite look that way. This achievement marked a significant advancement in Chinese military capabilities for infantry dismounts or mounted vehicles to have this platform placed on there. It provides infantry units with enhanced mobility and large amounts of firepower. As you can see by this lady being absolutely terrified by the firepower of this gun, it's certainly something that you do not want to be downrange of. The QJZ-89 showcases engineering to achieve that lightweight profile without compromising performance. It employs a unique hybrid operating system that combines both gas direct impingement with short recoil mechanisms. In this design, the gas system unlocks the bolt while the recoil action cycles it, effectively reducing peak recoil and enhancing accuracy. The machine gun is chambered for the powerful 12.7 by 108mm cartridge, delivering a muzzle velocity of approximately 850 meters per second. It features a quick detachable barrel measuring 1,000mm in length, featuring a rapid replacement system during sustained operations or firing, which, of course, this thing gets very hot when it's pumping rounds downrange, and you want to be able to change that barrel out quickly. The overall length of the weapon is 1.6 meters, and when mounted on the 8.5 kilogram tripod, the total system weight is 26 kilograms. Although it's quote lightweight, it still needs a crew to operate. You would certainly not want to be lugging this thing on your own, but in some regards you probably could. Firing that potent 12.7mm ammunition, it's capable of engaging a wider range of targets for enemy infantry or lightly armored vehicles, and with AP rounds it could even potentially take out APCs. The machine gun feeds a 50-round belt in a box and boasts a cyclic rate between 500 and 600 rounds per minute. This rate of fire, combined with its high muzzle velocity, ensures effective engagement ranges of up to 1,500 meters, which is overall pretty good. To enhance its versatility, the Chinese military has developed specialized armored-piercing discarding sabot rounds even for the QJZ-89. These rounds significantly improve the weapon's performance against fortified positions and small armored threats, making it a formidable tool for infantry to suppress armored vehicles on the battlefield. Since its induction, the Type 89 has been integrated into various branches of the Chinese military and taking a lot of design from older platforms that have been progressively upgraded to make it more robust, lightweight and powerful, and it serves as a versatile asset across multiple platforms including vehicles and even helicopters. Within the People's Liberation Army, it is deployed at both battalion and company levels, providing essential heavy fire support to infantry units, normally on the flanks. Its lightweight design allows for a lot greater mobility, enabling rapid deployment in diverse terrains and urban environments to rugged landscapes. It's quite easily dismantleable with that gigantic spring and this older variant that has been kind of upgraded to be a lot more capable in cleaning and maintenance, which with a heavy machine gun you're going to want to have a very solid and robust bolt, of which this particular machine gun does very well at. If there's one thing I will say is, although Chinese military equipment may not be the most highest quality, it will work flawlessly, and it will keep going. Even though maybe there's a little bit of rough around the edges, it will do what it needs to do. The machine gun is also mounted on a number of Special Forces buggies and all-terrain vehicles because of its lightweight capability. This allows them to have a lot more operational flexibility, particularly in airborne operations. In the PLA Navy, it's utilized on pedestal mounts aboard surface vessels for self-defense purposes, safeguarding naval assets against potential threats, particularly that of drones. But to really respect the QJZ-89's place in China's heavy machine gun arsenal, it's essential to look at some of the history of other indigenous heavy machine guns that China has made. The Type 77 heavy machine gun was introduced in 1977 and was China's attempt to develop a lighter 12.7mm machine gun suitable for mobile anti-aircraft applications. Weighing approximately 29 kilograms without its tripod, the Type 77 utilized a hybrid short recoil and gas direct impingement operating system, and despite its innovative design, it was eventually superseded by more advanced models due to certain performance limitations. The W-85 heavy machine gun, developed in the 1980s, was designed with a focus on reducing that weight for infantry use. The gun itself weighs around 18.5 kilograms when compared to its tripod, and the total system is around about 39 kilograms. The W-85 operates on a gas-operated long-stroke piston system and is primarily used in vehicle-mounted configurations designated as the QJZ-89 in such roles. There's also the modernized QJZ-171 heavy machine gun. This is the latest evolution of Chinese heavy machine guns and is also known as the Type 171. This was designed to replace the QJZ-89, which we're talking about today, and emphasizes on ultra-lightweight construction. It weighs approximately 11.8 kilograms for the gun alone, with a 6 kilogram tripod, and employs a short recoil hybrid with an advanced primary ignition blowback system, and fires specialized 12.7 108mm lightweight ammunition. This model represents a significant leap in portability and firepower, aligning with modern military requirements for rapid deployment and versatility. There's nothing worse than having a heavy machine gun that is so cumbersome to get it onto the battlefield, including its tripod and ammunition, that your troops are exhausted before they even get there. While the QJZ-89 remains a staple in the Chinese arsenal today, continuous efforts have been made to enhance its capabilities to meet the evolving battlefield requirements. Modern variants have been equipped with advanced optical sights, including night vision scopes, that are integrated fully to the system. This improves target acquisition in low light conditions, and have even been integrated to electronic systems that can detect drones and potentially give lead or line of fire to drones moving in the sky to basically turn into an anti-aircraft gun. These enhancements enable operators to maintain a lot of accuracy and effectiveness during operations where drones are in the environment, which are getting stronger and stronger as we see in the battlefields today, like Ukraine. Additionally, adjustments to the tripod design have been implemented, allowing for both low profile and elevated positions, and this versatility enables the QJZ-89 to fulfill multiple roles, whether it be dug in a trench, or having to utilize it in an anti-aircraft role, or just switching it over to a vehicle. This includes a lot of design variants to the ammunition itself. They're looking at AP rounds, they're looking at flechette rounds, there's all sorts of different ammunition you can put inside of this thing, which once again allows a lot of flexibility for the infantry that are utilizing it in any particular battle scenario. Although it's primarily used by the Chinese forces, it has garnered interest on an international stage and has seen a limited export success. Countries such as Cambodia and Mongolia have incorporated these heavy machine guns into their military inventories, recognizing its advantageous combination of lightweight design and formidable firepower. Its adoption by these nations underscores the appeal of this system as an effective support weapon for infantry that is quite cost-effective, particularly in regions where mobility and versatility are very crucial. The weapon's performance in various operational contexts is demonstrated very well with its reliability. It doesn't take a huge amount of maintenance, and if you throw some oil on it and keep it cool, it will just continue firing. And the Type 89 really represents a significant achievement in Chinese military heavy machine guns. In terms of development and combining that lightweight design and substantial firepower, they've made a very robust machine gun that can be used just about anywhere. What I find most fascinating about these heavy machine guns is the adaptation into a lighter weight role. It's not like we're seeing in the Cold War era machine guns where we want something that's gigantic, that could be set up in a defensive position and just hold position. The Chinese don't work that way. They like to keep a mobile warfare going as much as they can, and they send waves upon waves of infantry forward, and this weapon system needs to move with them. There's no point having fire support or, arc fire support on your flanks if you're not able to pull up with the infantry as they advance. And let's be clear here, if the infantry from the Chinese military make an advance, it's going to be fast and there's going to be a lot of it. So you need something that can be pulled from position quickly, both tripod and machine gun, and more importantly, ammunition to where they need it to go. And if you have something so cumbersome, it's just going to make things really, really difficult. And that is really interesting, the fact that they're also looking at armored piercing so heavily for these machine guns. When you think of an infantry section using these in a fire support role, you think, well, they're probably designed to take out vehicles or, just enemy positions in trenches or infantry moving forward. No, they're actually looking at that, discarding sabot round for this particular machine gun that is going to do some really nasty damage to APCs, probably do a lot of damage to maybe a Bradley. It's hard to say. If it's up armored, I don't think these rounds are going to do much, but it's certainly going to give you a really bad day if you have these things bouncing all over the side of you. Of course, though, when you're putting this many rounds down range, you need to have it very capable of being able to change that barrel out. As you can see, this gunner is going wild with the little arc breaker there, which is that little gate prevents him from going all over the place, because with that recoil, you could quite easily go into the wrong arcs. But it is cooled quite quickly with that barrel interchange, which is very, very important. You don't see that very often with certain heavy machine guns of other countries. They just have something that is basically, you fire and you keep going and you give it a break. With the interchangeable barrels on this platform, it allows for you to quickly get back into the firefight. But at the end of the day, the heat will eventually extend to the working parts, and it's been known that this particular machine gun is very prone to being jamming if it hits that working mechanism. The top cover and the linkage mechanism is quite complicated for this machine gun. It's not as simple as, say, the M2 Browning, and if your timing within that machine gun is wrong, or you've got too much heat in there or gunk, it can have some problems. But overall, for a projectile like this, it is doing very well in its reliability, and the fact that it can do so much firepower and be moved quickly, I think, is a huge hats off to the Chinese designers for this heavy machine gun, and I have a lot of respect for it. I certainly, as I said earlier, would not want to be at the other end of the projectiles from this machine gun coming towards me. The Chinese military have selected international capability for this machine gun, but I don't think it's going to be really sold as much as we think it would. There's a lot of other competitors out there. The Chinese market is, of course, quite influxed to their own country, and indigenous designs always get a little bit of more speculation than certain countries that do a little bit of a hybrid of components or parts, particularly sighting systems for these machine guns from kind of a collaborative nature. So I don't think there's going to be as much purpose to sell these to other countries, and the heavy machine gun market is quite heavily flooded. But the future iterations of this machine gun, for instance, as I'd mentioned before, the 171 could be something that maybe countries want to look at, but this is starting to become an older platform, an older machine gun that maybe people just don't have the requirement for as much anymore. And we're starting to see more things like the 338 Lapua rounds, smaller caliber rounds instead of the big heavy-duty 50 cal and the 12.7, being a little bit more in that sort of supporting fire role. Heavy machine guns tend to be nowadays left upon vehicles because they're able to sustain more ammunition. There's nothing worse than carrying 6 boxes of heavy-duty machine gun ammo on your back as a section of infantry. It's just not a fun time, and it's bad enough just calling 7.62 as a gunner on the C6 level in this beast. But I think the heavy machine gun is still here to stay in the infantry in a dismounted role, just maybe not as prominent as we used to see. So thank you so much for joining me in this exploration of the QJZ-89 or Type 89 heavy machine gun. If you did enjoy today and you want to learn more about military technology, of course subscribe and let me know in the comment section below what your favorite machine gun is and maybe other military equipment you want me to look at in the future. Again, really appreciate you stopping by, and if you want to support the channel, you can go check out the description box below for my Patreon and PayPal. And thank you so much for those who have been supporting me financially on my comment section as well. You've been sending me super chats. It really means a lot to me. I cannot thank you enough. Hope you have a wonderful day, everyone. All the best, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.